It's 6 a.m. when I pull the car out of the driveway. With a pounding headache and a measure of self-pity, I steer us to the highway plunged into darkness. Sam is useless in the mornings. I've triple-checked the suitcases, the wallets, the passports. I pat myself on the back. We'd be nowhere without me, I reassure myself. We cross into Wyoming to the tune of Joker and the Thief. I try to explain to Sam how to operate my camera, and he's starting to get the hang of it. "Why did you bring this?" he says. "You're basically guaranteeing we get brutally murdered." This camera doesn't record sound, so personally I think that horror movie would suck anyway. I awaken in the passenger's seat to Sam yelling about baby sheep. I look out the window. Surely enough, lambs. I can't pick up the camera fast enough to document them, but I get a horse or two in before I give up. Dusk. We've crossed into Oregon. We have exhausted the conversation and the playlists, and only communicate to comment on the scenery. Ahead is a work plant. "It looks alien," I say. "Something out of Star Wars." "It's beautiful," says Sam. It's strange to hear him use a word like that. On day 2, I stick a black and white cartridge in by mistake, which is all good and well because Eastern Washington is basically this color anyway. We drive in near silence, half asleep, blaring Motown. We've run out of new CDs to listen to and have to repeat playlists. I can no longer distinguish minutes from hours. There is no sun to guide my perception of time. Sam's mom calls for the millionth time in 24 hours. We laugh it off, but I can tell he's frustrated. Freshly 18, Sam is still somebody's baby. I don't say it, but I'm jealous. I haven't heard from my mother since the day before we left. I always want what I can't have. At last, the border. The goal toward which we've been creeping for 24 brutal hours. We roll down the windows, stretch and yawn. I fumble in my purse for our passports. The hardest part is now over. The opposite side of the border is a different world. I have never seen such a bright saturation of color. The mountains are nearer and bluer than in my hometown. The trees retain full, bright foliage, and the air is cool and crisp. I am alive, I am conscious for the first time in days. To drive with the windows down, even at an agonizing rush hour pace, feels like a reward. Sam seems livelier in the passenger's seat, cheerful as he dials Hava's number to tell her we've arrived. I pass out before I can even convince myself to go shower. The silence of Lynn Canyon Park is surreal. Not a bird, not a chipmunk, just endless rushing of the river in the ravine. I cling to the ropes of the suspension bridge as I film this, hardly breathing as I lean over the edge. Sam stands aside and watches me uncertainly. I don't think it's ever occurred to him that there are things in this world I may be afraid of. We are two people who have grown up simultaneously aware and in denial of each other as merely human. I don't know what to make of this. That night we pick up Hava from her dorm and wander into Gastown. I get a lot of attention with my old-timey camera, mostly from homeless people. On day 4, we make our way to Wreck Beach behind Hava's school. The journey is marked for the most part by stairs. And stairs. And stairs. And a few more stairs. and then finally the beach. The sun sets and we sit on a log and talk as elderly nudists orbit around us, our own fleshy satellites. Sam doesn't want to go to college next year. He wants to work and travel. He likes music and writing and doesn't see much for himself in an academic setting. What I can't seem to communicate to him is how lonely it'll be to take a different road. In choosing to explore, he may inadvertently choose not to explore what really matters. And I worry. It's our last day in the city. This afternoon we will pack up and retreat the way we came, so we take Stanley Park by storm. We take pictures on the overlook by the bridge, we stroll, we talk. I lag behind, watching through the lens. I want to immortalize us as we are on this day, all together and sloppily dressed, wandering in the most beautiful place on the planet, teetering on the verge of yet another goodbye. I know that we're weeks from being reunited again in the summer, that shockingly nothing has changed between us in our year apart. But the sense of an ending is upon me. I am happy and I am sad, all at once.